There's not a choice maker. The choice is making itself. It's like the whole environment does what it does. Like the environment chooses, the environment walks, the environment sleeps, the environment eats. It's like an experience of interpenetration of appearances moving on its own volition. And so in that, you are not going to find an agent. You're not going to find a choice maker standing apart from it, directing it. And that's obvious. But conventionally, sure, you can speak in terms of choice, right? Choices are made. There's just no one choosing. So it's the agency that's seen through ultimately. It's not something you have to understand. Just look closely into your experience. Sit and look and feel and listen and notice. Like none of this is being directed by an agent. And at some point, the body will get up, and that's not directed by an agent either. It's just happening. If you're trying to understand it too early on, I think it just gets you up in your head, and it's just counterintuitive. It doesn't seem like it's really. It just seems so much like there's an agent. It seems so much like the choice maker is such an intrinsic part of who you are, what it feels like to be you, that it's just bizarre to even say it's not there. So, what's the point in talking about it? But at some point, it'll be so clear, like that it was never there. And you didn't want it there either. That's the other part. It's what makes this feel so heavy is that you're the one that has to direct his life. And it's so hard and so big and heavy and confusing. And there's so many choices and they have so many consequences. Wouldn't you like to be free of all that? Freedom isn't freedom to do what you want to do as an agent, because that's an illusion. Freedom is the freedom to completely and fully participate in this mystery and let it do whatever it's going to do. And you're not apart from it. You're not a separate agent. And that's very enjoyable. There's a core thing I tell people, and that is that they know how to wake up. So I don't know the right way for you to wake up or any particular person, but I know you do. And trusting your instinct is key, and resting in the I am sense. This is very much like resting in unbound consciousness. I often, when I talk about that, I often say, for some people, it does feel like an I. For some people, it doesn't, for whatever reason, but it's the same thing. So the beauty of that is no matter what arises, no matter what thought arises or doesn't arise, it's the I am sense is the primary experience. It is the primary. So it can handle anything. It's encompassing already of everything. It's the ocean, right? So if that is available to you, I think it's a hugely valuable practice to do, is resting in the I am sense. And the mirror meditation, I have heard of that. I don't think I've even recommended it to people or talked about it, but I have heard of this. It has some way of kind of offloading a lot of like internal tension and judgments and so forth by just staring at your own face in the mirror. So I think it's awesome. And then lastly, going into the body sense, I lead many meditations this way. Like my guided meditations, I often do this. You could call it Vipassana. There are different ways to interpret what Vipassana is, but that's hugely valuable. So I think all of these practices are valuable. They will definitely pay off. I'd like to hear people's different approaches to this stuff, because you have to learn something new, right? You have to do something different to kind of break the habit of mind identification. So reading, learning from someone else, listening to teachers, and you have to find the sweet spot between that and your own intuition of how to apply that practice. A profound non-dual experience, or a really strong sensory experience that feels magical and alive and so forth. If you want, you can introduce a question, but don't make an assumption. If you say, I want to merge with something, you're making a lot of assumptions. But if you want to just introduce a question, you can just ask, is there an edge? Is there a dividing line? Those kinds of questions can be helpful because they're making no assumptions. In sound, is there, is in the experience of sound, is there any boundaries anywhere? Don't bite the, I don't know what to say, but like the lure, like the fishing lure of the mind that wants to analyze and understand. You can have very clear ongoing non-dual experience without understanding at all. It's not about understanding. You can also just meditate with unbound consciousness on the actual meditation rounds, just unbound consciousness type meditation, because that just makes the mind calmer and calmer and calmer and calmer. And then when you're up and moving around, you can work in the non-dual sense fields. Just sound, keep your attention to sound. Just the visual, keep your attention there.